Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Farm, thinking right out here in the lab. I'm still in the book, going down this eye rabbit hole. I got one more lesson for you about the eyes. So, wait a minute. Excuse me. I got to wrap up this eye rabbit hole that y'all sent me now. I got the one lesson now to turn it into two. So let me wrap this up for you. Let's go. Right is 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. Oh man, I'm brain free. You tuning and receiving them, I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Oh man, I'm working. All right, we got a good thing going. I appreciate you. All right, let's get down to business. Let's do what we do. This lesson got me so excited. I got to get to it. All right, right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on once I calm down, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is a way of life. Through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I'll ask you the question. Do you know you? You will when I get through, especially with this lesson. All right, that's right. I got you. Right thinker. Know thyself is a person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Maya be true. I'm back with the eyes. Right thinkers, let's talk about, wrapping it up, the philosophy and the symbolism of the two eyes of Heru. Who's that? That's the spirit that's in me and you. Also in Krishna and Buddha too. Okay, it's a philosophy that the Vedas and the Hindus practice it also. You see the eyes there, see the eyes, and you see how this is ours, this is the Hindus, and this is the Buddhists. All right, let's go. When I get done, you should have a full understanding about the eye, left and right. Let's go. All right. The symbol of the two eyes of Heru is most ancient. That's the oldest, okay? Having existed in the pre-dynastic times, going far back as 10,000 BCE to 5,000 BCE. It carried over into the philosophy of the Hinduism and the eye of Krishna, okay? And Buddhism. As the eyes of Buddha, the eyes imply what? A form of vision, all right? A state of consciousness beyond your ordinary human perception. That's why the spirit is perceived by the falcon or the hawk. Excellent vision, okay. But now, in the intervening time, when Set, there's a story where Set and Heru fought, and Set gouged out his eyes, okay? But it's the metaphor for, watch this. Set has stolen Heru's eyes. He took away what? Heru's inner vision of unity, okay? So Heru therefore saw the world as Set did, what? Through a state of consciousness of a forceful brute. Remember, he got mad at his mother and cut off her head, okay, out of bitter anger. He's supposed to be, that's like me being the right thinking and act out of character. That's a no-no, okay? But that's what happened. That's what's said. And we all human had that lapse. Watch this. But with unbridled emotion, anger and frustration, and the person who caused that will get stabbed, shot multiple times, okay? Those people just, that person just drive you to that point. That's not good, okay? A lot of marriages end up that way. All right, but he took away his ability to be functional as a complete human being. And he had unbridled emotional passion, okay? And he couldn't control it. And he suffered from what? Egoism, okay? All about him. A lot of us suffer for that too. Heru lost what? His light of intuition. his internal vision, the third eye of the sun, and was what? Dominated by what? The moon, the earthly passion, the lower self, egoism. Remember, sun, hot, good, moon, not good. But watch this. So now he lost his vision, and which clouded his mind and impeded what? His higher thought of what? Intuition. Therefore, Satanium body consciousness vision is hostile to who? To Ra, which is the spiritual vision, the higher self. Okay? Remember, lower wanted to be higher. He killed the highest, made him higher. No, you still lower. Okay, and must be fought. Again, remember, Set is bad. He's your ego. He took out what? Your spirituality, your good person for to step aside to get all the accolades. That's why the ego think it's all that. That's why he edged God out. And watch this. It must be fought against. How long? Until it is controlled, supplemented. Okay? You can't go nowhere unless your ego is under control. That's what they're telling you. I tell you, that's the first level of gaining knowledge of self. We got to deal with Set, the ego. Moving on. We way past that. All right. But as stated in the Egyptian book, coming forth by day in chapter 23, the Satanian thinking ego is the what? The greatest force holding your soul in a state of mental bondage. Okay? At the end of the conflict between Heru and Set, you are Heru. Set is the ego that's in you. So you fight in your moral fight. It's the internal fight with you struggling to be what? To redeem your father's mistake of letting his ego take him out. You got to take charge and make the ego submit to you. That's the game. And watch this. Heru and Set. Set, which has brute force, arrogance, and egoism going for him. We know them guys, okay? I always point to him. He was a Leo. Everything that egoistic, that's what he was. That was his personality. That's his character. That's why I do that, okay? And I know that firsthand. When I look, that's what I know. I know who that is. All right. But what happened? Now, where we at? Okay. Now that state of mind, it keeps him bondage. Now at the end of the conflict, what happened? Set, who has his qualities of egoism, arrogance, and once that's supplemented through what? You ready? Here come my man, Tahuti. Now, Tahuti represents wisdom, your thought faculty, your mind. That's the mind of God. He the one that wrote down he did God's handiwork, Medjugorje. I got that lesson coming for you too. But he the one who put the information down. He represents God's mind. The Greeks call him Hermes Trismegistus. That means he's thrice great, 3 times. That means on every realm, he's great in every realm. The physical, the astral, and the dua. All of that, he's good at. That's just your mind. Again, he ain't a real person. I hate when people talk about, thought Hermes, blah, 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 blah. He's a philosophy. Moving on. But his physical force is directed to what? The service of Ra. Your mind serves Ra, your higher self, as he is given the prestigious position at the head of what they call the bark of Ra. Ra follows Tahuti, okay, as his protector from what? And Ra is also, as he traverses where the heavens, every day, the sun, he carries 2 things with him in the daytime. Mayat and Tahuti. He needs his justice, he needs righteousness, reciprocity, and order for everything to happen, duality, and he also needs wisdom. Okay, those are the things he needs. In the daytime, right there, Ra must do battle now with the forces of darkness. He done got that problem in the daytime. But when he get to the western horizon and go under, he got to work with Apophis, the evil one. Your good still have to fight off the evil. Why? Evil ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. And Apophis can't be destroyed either. Okay? Conceptually. And that's what I try to show you. This is all metaphorically, but it gets you to understand it. I'm trying to tell a story where you can understand it. That's the thing. Now, who would like to stop Ra from shining? Apophis, okay, darkness. Ra represents light, good. Apophis represents dark, evil, or the intellect, or ignorance. Same thing, however you slice it, you can cut duality any slice you want, any way you want. As long as they're opposites, you can make it work. Okay, that's what Mayat represents. And thus the forces are what? Are headed by whom? The evil forces Apophis. Good forces by Ra. Evil, Apophis. Okay, the serpent, once set, is controlled. Okay, the serpent, the forces of darkness who would like to stop Ra from shining. These forces are headed up by the Apophis, and he's represented by the serpent. Once set is controlled, your ego, through what? Wisdom. Hello. He is seen what? Doing battle what? Against Apophis. You flipped him, so to speak. Now he's working for the good. Why? He ain't a bad guy. He just on the wrong team. We put him on our team. He's that guy, set at the guy. You don't want to go against him. Why? Oh, he's a bad. You want him on your team. You want him fighting with you. And that's what told you, no. My man, come on. You go fight that. It's a hell of a concept. I love it. All right, you can understand it. But once you get set on your side, control them. I tell you all the time, keep your foot on his neck. Let him loose when you need him. Why? Through wisdom. And he is seen fighting against the real evil one, Apophis, in order to what? To protect the bark of Ra. Okay, that's entropy. He fighting off evil. He supposed to be evil. No, he's not evil. Okay, he's just on the wrong side. You got to get him understanding. But in the manner, our physical nature, which is brute animal force, it must be placed at what? The service of the spirit. The body is cool, but you need the mind. That's what they try to show you, your higher self. The body is your lower self. But the vision, watch this, of either sun, which represents the spirit, the moon represents matter. You get the concept? Yin and yang, sun and moon. The sun feeds the moon. The moon feeds off of the sun. Understand that. Watch this. Alone represents a dangerous imbalance. Why? Because if you use one side of your brain, you're doing dishonor to the other side, and vice versa. So the idea is what? Maya. Balance everything. Your thought, your action, everything you do should be balanced. And when it's imbalanced, that's a dangerous position to be in. You be in his position, don't know whether shit or go blind. That's that predicament all the time. All right, here you go. But for spiritual consciousness, and we are spiritual beings, we just got to become conscious. That's what's up here that we need to do with. Sorry. That's why we got teachers, saints, gurus, and masters to help others to do that. If you think you can become enlightened by yourself with you are not too smart. Moving on, not right thinking. But it's all laid out for you. You got to find somebody who knows and they pass it on to you. When you get it, you can pass it on. That's what you're going to do. What? Pass it to someone else once you get it. Why? The gospel is good. Good news. Good information. Moving on. All right, I see the clock. Ooh, I got to get this thing. I got a lot of stuff. All right, where we at? Now, what's this? When you use one part of the brain, when you use spiritual consciousness alone, now the mind negates the body. And that's the physical consciousness. If you use, that's the physical consciousness alone, that's the ego. And the ego will neglect what? The spirit. They got to work together. That's why you see Heru and Set tying up what? The breath, the trachea, the lungs. We got to work this thing together. We on the same team. We here together. All right. Spirit and matter working together. That's Maya. So therefore, you have a what? A balance to be achieved in order that what? Both your spirit and your matter may coexist in harmony. That's what Maya represents. Okay? Two opposites. And you can't get them opposite of that. Physical and spirit. Those are two opposites you can get. Put them together, you got something going good. And this is the vision of Heru, which is the spirit in me and you. The protective vision, consciousness, which understands, that the mystery of the spirit and that of matter, which is the body, are what? Are one and the same. He know himself. That's why I keep saying the spirit in you and me and you, But that the underlying basis of each one is the same reality. Hello, but the eye of Heru, so therefore it represents what? Your inner vision of that which is reality, which what goes beyond the sun and the moon, spirit and matter, next level, okay? The eye of Heru is the protector from all that is evil. We only want purity. We only want what's good. To possess the eye of Heru, what happened? That is that the vision of consciousness of Heru is what? Is to possess all things. To see all things. To fear no thing. Why? Because fear comes from ignorance. When you know all things, you ain't fearing for nothing because you know. What's this? Ignorance. And ignorance comes from what? Wrong thinking and believing, ding, 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 that the world is composed of separate objects. The vision got to become one. Now, in seeing, objects and creatures and human beings, and from identifying with the body and believing oneself, what? To be human, mortal, same thing, personality. I'm just me. I'm going to be all I can be. Okay, you'll be back. In seeing and understanding what? Of all things, there is what? No fear. Why not? Because there is no ignorance. You scared what you fear. You fear what you don't know. See where we're going with this? If you can follow along, oh, it makes a lot of sense. And all things are what? Are only manifestations of the all, the one innermost self. Therefore, one cannot what? Hurt oneself. Philosophically, conceptually, one is really immortal. The spirit that's in us, that gives us life, is immortal. And that goes beyond the spirit and matter, because now we become conscious of it. Now you elevate yourself. So therefore, there is no need to what? Fear death. Scared to death when death came calling. He didn't know. I can't help it. Nothing I can do. Have a good one, dude. All right. But what's this? Thus, the eye of Heru is the greatest protector. It's in you. You are born with it. The Savior is in you. You got to save yourself. See where we're going with this? I got a little more to go. I got this, or I might make it. Now, in the Vedanta concept in India, their philosophy, watch this, which is spin off for hours, but they put their twist to it. My right thinking, the Shita Netta, my philosophy, but I put my twist to it, so I'm not plagiarizing. I ain't doing nothing to their philosophy. I just putting the twist on it my way. Excuse me. But hold on one second. And where we at? The Vedanta philosophy, and what? They got a different philosophy. They say that the moon represents the mind and the sun represents God. Okay, same concept. Why? The mind is human, that's ours. And the supreme being, the eye of Krishna, are the sun and the moon, again, just like ours. But now in the Kemetic Egyptian philosophy, the moon is a symbol of the god we call thoughts, or Tahuti. Again, they changed the name, or Hermes. They got all kinds of names for the mind of God. Everybody got a concept. He's the messenger. Mercury's with the wing. Everybody got the messenger from God. Okay, moving on. But that's the philosophy, mythology, whatever you want to call it. But the God of wisdom, which is Tahuti, he represents your intellect, your higher mind, your purified mind, your right thinking mind. That's who Tahuti represents, and that's who you should represent in the flesh. Thus, now the implication is that what? In order to become one with the universe, such as Heru, with the spirit in you, or Krishna, they did the same thing too. The following change, okay, in what? In consciousness may be affected by what? Turning your right thinking thoughts of your mind to what? God, as opposed to what? Objects of the world, your selfish ego thing. I need this, I want that, gotta have that. And it's a difference in consciousness. And you shift your perspective about the world. Now, objects, and seeing them as what? Expressions of God, instead of separate and your self-existent realities, thinking it's just me and that's it. No. But your mind is the moon. Why? As the moon is a reflection of the sun, the mind is a reflection of God. Therefore, by changing one's consciousness, one's awareness of what reality is, which has been caught in the extreme of what? Matter, physical body, earthly things, ego, okay? One may move more toward spirituality. There we go. Come on now. You're aspiring to do better. You will raise your consciousness in order to what? To find that balance. There you go. Maya. Between the two, what? Physical and the mental. Between spirit and matter, and become what? The master of the two. Lower and higher. Once you master that, you good to go. I'm taking it home. Let's go. I'm on the home stretch. I'm trying to get there. When Heru, which is the spirit in me and you, when your eye, the moon, was torn out, the concept was, and thrown away by Set, the god Tahuti, your conscious, your mind, Hermes, he found it. And by using the formula below, and break that down, did that a long time. I hate that. Got to go back. This is a good little concept. But he turned it into what? The moon. And when the parts of the eye of Heru are added up, it gives the answer 63, 64. It's a fraction, but it's not a whole number. Why? It's missing that 164. They're going to explain that to you. Watch this. Which approximates a whole number, 1, 63, 64 is not a whole number. But that one is the number which symbolizes what? Oneness, wholeness, all sight, all knowing, the supreme being, the absolute, all his names. As long as your soul is involved in creation, which is matter, physical, the body, there will remain some small separation between what? Your individual by the spirit and the universal by the spirit. Why? The one, in order to what? To become completely unified. This is perfect. I love this part right here. You merge into infinity. Your individual soul of the enlightened. If you are enlightened, you pass the scales of Mayat, the person will what? You go to sit with a star and you will dissolve into what? The universal soul and become what? One at the time of death. And this is what they call the complete oneness with what? The divine. You had that after death experience. And watch this. Now, the missing part of the I of the universal soul or at the time of death now comes in play. And watch this, the missing part of the I of Heru, the 164th, is added when? At death. That's the key right there. By who? Tahuti, through magic and consciousness. Your I of Tahuti, he got one too. Thus, through the magic of Tahuti, the mind, wisdom, the parts of presenting our consciousness may be now what? As George will tell you, reprogram, deprogram, take it down, rebuild it again, can be reconstructed to what? Wholeness and oneness. Therefore, Tahuti is an aspect of Ptah and the cosmic mind. In this aspect, Tahuti, your individual mind, symbolizes your higher consciousness, your mind. Thus, humans who are attuned to the universal conscious mind, awakened to who they are, will become one with God when? After this physical life is over. Well, nobody told you. Yeah, okay, but I take my chances. Okay, you take what you got, you good. I'm happy with what I got. I'm breaking down a quick step of the eye. Thus, right here, in the pyramid of Unas, the eye of Tahuti was called the black eye or Heru. In the same text, it is said to Unas, thus has seized the two eyes of Heru, the white eye and the black eye, and thou hast carried them off and set them in front of thee, and they give light to what? Thy face. That's God in the presence of him. You got to shine. And they tell you right here. Each aspect of the eye breaks down 1/4, 1/2, 1/8, 1/16, 132, 164. Okay, that's each aspect, each sense of the tension for the eye. It broke it down mathematically. It fits perfect. And when the parts of the eye, which you call the Ujat, the left eye, when it all added up, the result is 63 64, which approximate the whole number one. As long as the soul is involved in creation, the physical body, the matter, until it ends, there will remain some small separation between the individual Ba and the universal Ba, and they will come together when at death. That's when God and you become one. I can't make it no plainer. Hope you understood it. That's the power of the eye, and that's the concept and significance and symbolism behind the eye. It means you're conscious. You know yourself. I do. Do you? Hope you stick around. I'll help you do just that, so you will know you too. I'm just a lesson. In closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. Open your eyes and see what you need to see. Like me.